So we talked about censorship and the how that backfired, trying to censor the account Babylon Bee on Twitter, and how that ended up basically ending up with Elon Musk owning Twitter and opening it up to freedom of speech. So that didn't go well for that, for people who wanted censorship. But now we're going to talk about lawfare, and what a mess that's made. And I don't care if you're pro-Trump or against Trump for this, but we absolutely know that Congress spent 2 years and $35 million on these hokey charges they had when they knew they had made-up evidence. They knew it, and so they did that. Then, okay, so he's not president, he doesn't win the next election cycle. Then we have all these people, Jack Smith and all these people coming up with all of these charges. Some of the charges are kind of ridiculous because they're like charges against this business deal he did where everybody on every side of the thing was completely happy and satisfied. But supposedly, according to this, this lawyer, prosecutor or whatever, he undervalued the company. So, but the bank got paid back, the investors, everybody, but still they go on. And even one district attorney elevated non-felony charges to felony charges to get them. Well, they go through this, it's dragging along, and, Trump wins again. The popular vote, the electoral vote. And so they have to make, they realize they can't go against the sitting president. He's the boss of the Department of Justice. So you can't really prosecute your boss because all you have to do is say you're fired and you're gone. So the statement comes out that they not only are they not going to prosecute him now for events, but they won't prosecute him in the future because a president cannot be effective if he's worrying about people suing him for what he did in office, even if he's out of office. So, so this makes a big mess. They go to, and in this, we've got a case goes up to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court is has a ruling, but it's not exactly specific, talking about presidential immunity. And so it's a gray area enough so that, there's no sense following up on any of these charges. And so what are we stuck with? Well, to Biden's benefit, I would think that he can't be prosecuted for some of the things he did because of this same, presidential immunity thing. Now, at some point, there has to be a distinction between, let's say you took a bribe from some country, an enormous one, to provide them aid or something like that. You would think that that could be prosecuted because that would basically be an illegal activity. But, the way this is worded with the Supreme Court, it's left with a gray area. So what I'm saying, by doing all this foolishness, they actually made more support for Trump, and they created this nebulous get out of jail free card that any president can use from now on. And it's just stupid. But again, just like using censorship for your own purposes when you shouldn't, using the law for your own purposes, it comes back and bites you. And now we have this big nebulous gray cloud between law and the president, any president, and what then can a president do or not do? Is he responsible to any laws or any legal actions? I mean, we don't know. And that's just not a good situation to be in. And that's what came out of all of this mess, all of this. They figure, I read something that said they've wasted $150 million with these charges against Trump. And the Trump charges weren't real charges. They were just things to prevent him from being in office. And a lot of Democrats now admit that that money was all like just giving it to him for his campaign, because this whole underdog thing oh, I'm going to fight for you people. He gets shot and he's waving his fist in defiance. Oh, and it's like the Democrats they might as well have given him all that money because, again, they made him an underdog. And people like underdogs. You can get a lot of votes being an underdog. So, I mean, all of it terribly backfired on the Democrats. And it's going to backfire on Republicans, too, because there are going to be situations now where we want to hold presidents more accountable for actual illegal actions that they do during the presidency. And I don't know if people can be prosecuted anymore for that. But we'll see. Maybe later on they'll change it or redefine it somehow. It's been left gray enough so that, say, 4 years go by, there could be a case that would come up that would further define it. But most likely, Trump will probably have a situation where he's going to appoint one or two more Supreme Court judges, and that will set that conservative slant in the Supreme Court for decades to come. Tell me what you think. Bye.